Hello, fourth graders. This is Ms. Nelson, and today we're going to talk about websites and how to tell if they are reliable sources when you're doing research. So, in a couple weeks, you will be starting a big research project, and I want to take you to take a look at this comic that I have on the screen. Notice the grade on this little boy's report. He's got an F, and he says, "What do you mean all my facts are wrong? I copied everything straight off the internet." Well, there's two issues here. The plagiarism issue, which we've talked about before, but he has copied everything off the internet and probably didn't evaluate his sources to see if they were good sources or not. So when you're doing your research project, you're going to need sources, books, databases, and websites to get that information. But not all sources are reliable, as this boy figured out. Today we're going to talk about how to tell which of those sources are reliable, and then practice evaluating some websites. So your goals for today's lesson is I can decide if a website is reliable. Your goal for the next lesson, because this is going to last over 2 times that you come to see me, will be I can write rules for deciding if a website is reliable. So I want you to keep that in mind also when you're evaluating your websites, is what kind of rules would you write to teach someone else how to evaluate a website. So first, let's define reliable. What do you think reliable means? Well, something is reliable if it is of good quality and you're able to trust it. You can apply the word reliable to people, but you can also apply it to books and websites, any resource that you would use for your research. There are so many websites out there, but not all of them are good quality sites with information that we can trust. So, how can you tell if a website is reliable? Well, you need to ask yourself who, what, when, and why. Just those 4 W questions. And I'm going to talk about these and apply how you can apply them to your websites when you're researching. So first, who? Who created this website? Who is the author? An author could be one person. It could be a corporation or an organization. What you need to really think about is who is that author, and is that author an expert? Do they really know what they're talking about? Do they list their resources on that site, so they can show you where they get their information? Not all authors are going to be reliable authors, so you really need to think about what that person is writing or that company is writing. You need to look at the URL, which is the address of the website, the www.ardale.com, or that is, if it's weird, if it doesn't make sense, if it doesn't really match what the website is, does that make it more or less reliable? That would make me question it if it didn't really match what the website is. And then you need to look at the suffix domain of the URL, and we're going to talk about those. Suffix domains are the end of the website. And sometimes a slash and some more words come after them, but there are these 5 main suffix domains, and 2 of them are oftentimes less reliable, but not always unreliable. And 3 of them are more reliable, but not always reliable. The less reliable ones are .com and .net. .com means commercial and .net means network. Now, anyone in the world can create a website with a .com or a .net. You don't need to have any special membership or expertise. You just need to apply online, and it's very easy. That's why these 2 are less reliable. You need to look at these more carefully, because it could be just anyone making up something and putting it on the web. The more reliable sites are the .orgs, which means an organization. Our school's website, our school district's website is a .org, so it's a school district. A little more trustworthy of an organization. Sometimes it's a nonprofit organization that might want you to believe something or to do something to support their cause. You have to take that into consideration. .gov is a government site. So that is a little bit more reliable, that information is coming from the government, but not always. And .edu equals education, but it means higher education, like college or a university, and people that are doing research there. Like I said, the less reliable are not always unreliable. Sometimes those are very trustworthy websites. The more reliable ones are not always trustworthy. Sometimes those are not reliable sites themselves. So you really need to take this into consideration, but also, look at the other things that we're talking about when you look at these websites. So next is what? What are you looking for? So you need to look at the website and decide, does this site help answer my research question? Is it the right kind of information? Is this site appropriate for me? Is it my reading level? Is it meant for a student or okay for a student to use? You also need to read some of the site and look, are there errors? Do the pictures make sense? Does the information make sense? Today you're going to look at some website where there are errors, but they're very good at hiding those errors. And they're also going to look at sites that have pictures that don't really make sense for that website. And sometimes the information doesn't even make sense. So you need to take that information and what you know about it and make a call. Do you think this is a trustworthy site or not? The next one is when. When was the website created or updated? If it's a new website, it should list somewhere on it when it was created. If it's older, it might list the information of when it was updated. There might be a date somewhere. You can also read the information on the site to decide, is that current? Or did that happen several years ago and they haven't updated it since? Is the information accurate? Is that correct information? You need to really think about the information that you're reading and not just trust it. You need to find possibly another website that has that same information to help you understand if that's trustworthy information or not. It's always better to find information on more than one source. The why is, why was this website created? Some websites are created to just give you information, and that's great. These are good websites to get information from. But if the website could be possibly created to persuade you to think a certain way or to do a certain thing, to support a certain cause. That doesn't mean that those websites are not reliable, but sometimes they have a hidden agenda. They want you to do something and they're going to change their information to make you think the way they think. Sometimes. Some websites are just there for entertainment. That doesn't necessarily mean they're bad, but they're probably, again, you need to look at things like who's making this website and whether this website is really reliable. And a lot of websites are created to sell something to you. Sometimes it's obvious, as if you're shopping on Amazon.com or something. Obviously, they're trying to sell you something. And other times it's not so obvious. You aren't really sure they're trying to sell you something. Or it could be a site that has a lot of information, but there's a lot of ads on it too. And you need to think about that. Is that more a reliable site or not? So we are going to talk about Wikipedia. Is Wikipedia a reliable website? I know a lot of you have heard from teachers, parents, whoever, that Wikipedia is not a good site. Don't use Wikipedia for your research. So let's give it the who, what, when, and why test and really see if Wikipedia is a good website. So I'm going to get out of my presentation and go to Wikipedia. I have already opened Wikipedia and searched for Minnesota. And this is what I get. Looks good. We all know what Wikipedia looks like. It's got pictures that make sense. So we're thinking about some of those questions. So let's start with who. Who created this site? The who is the biggest question that makes the Wikipedia not as reliable. Wikipedia is the free encyclopedia, as it says over here. Anyone can edit in Wikipedia. Yes, anyone. I can edit in Wikipedia. I can go to this edit tab and I can go into the article and I could change any information I want to. It's going to show that I did it. It'll show my name, but I could change this date if I wanted to right now and say that it was admitted on May 11th, 2016. I can view the history of when other people have edited it and who they are. I don't know anything about these people. Do people go in and possibly just change the article for fun or not? Or do they just add information that's good? I think it's a little bit of both. And I think also that Wikipedia is very good. The people that run Wikipedia is very good about catching the mistakes and the people that are going in and just trying to change things to be funny. But you just never know. So one thing I would say about Wikipedia is the who is the biggest question that might make you think this is not a reliable site, because we don't know who the authors are. There's a lot of different authors. It does list its web resources at the end of the site. We're going to scroll all the way to the bottom. Here's its references. Lots and lots of references, which is a good thing. This is a great place to find more information about it. If you want to make sure that something that's in Wikipedia is true, go to these different sites and find that information again. The URL does make sense. It's a Wikipedia and it's Minnesota, so I'm not going to question that. The suffix domain is .org. It's an organization, so it's more reliable. But again, that who is a big red flag that says it's not quite as reliable as we would like it to be. I'm also going to look at the what. What am I looking for? Does this help me answer my questions? Sure, it does, definitely. It's appropriate. It has pictures that match. We know these pictures are from Minnesota, and they look right. The pictures make sense. The information makes sense. Again, double check any information you find in Wikipedia to make sure it's true. At the very bottom, it says when the last time it was updated. Scroll back to the bottom under all the resources and everything. This page was last modified on February 7th, so it was just modified recently, so we know it's up to date. Again, we don't know what was modified, or we could look at the history, but we don't know if it was true or not. And then why? Why was this created? This is just information. The Wikipedia was created to share information and to have other people be the authors and share it again together with the world. But again, we just don't always know that this is 100% accurate. So, Wikipedia, is it reliable? It's all right. I would not consider it the most reliable source. You are going to be able to find sources with this information that are more reliable. So, going back to the presentation, your assignment for today is a website reliability assignment. With their partner, you're going to get one website reliability sheet. On this sheet are these directions. There's also the who, what, when, and why questions to help guide you. You're going to get a Chromebook for each of you. You are going to go to the school website. This address is also on your sheet. Click on Library Media Center, click on the 4th grade list, and visit all the 8 sites that I have listed under website reliability. And again, I'm going to take you through this in a minute here. On your sheet, I want you to record whether you think they are reliable and why or why not. I'm really looking for that why or why not. So let's review how to get to the library media page and all these websites. So here I typed rsi.ardale.org, got to our school website. I'm going to click on Library Media on the right-hand side of Quick Links. It's going to take you to our library page. Then you can either go to Guides, 4th grade, or you can go to the 4 on the side, on the left-hand side. And then right here, top left-hand side is website reliability. There are 8 different sites I would like you to look at and tell me whether you think they're reliable or not, and why. And lastly, I want you to be aware of what we're going to do next time you come, because we're going to continue our lesson. And next time, you will notice that on your sheet there is a star next to one of the 8 websites. That is the website you and your partner will present to the class about whether you think it's reliable or not, and why. Once we have all presented our websites, then we're going to create new groups, and we're going to create posters that you can hang in your classroom with website reliability rules on them to help you when you're doing research in your class. So that's the assignment. Today we're going to focus on just looking at the websites and deciding if they're reliable or not. Next time, we will share that with each other. So let's get to work. Thanks.